Hey everyone, welcome back to New Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Cardwell.
And today we're going to go over a new fun little deck that I like to call the Mystery Gang. And I mean, you'll get the reference here in a little bit if you don't, but the 90s kids will for sure.
Oh yeah.
But before we get into the deck, we do want to remind everybody that we did start a Patreon, so if you'd like to give us some more support, go ahead and click the link down below and it'll send you there. But without further ado, let's delve into the Mystery Gang.
Oh yeah.
So, this deck, we start off with Reiya. We essentially... She's the corner piece of the deck.
Yeah.
And Raya is the old ruler from Winds of the Ominous Moon. The unsealed one, because, I mean,
Of course.
you need to.
Yeah.
Raya, fourth daughter of the Mikage. So she judgments for 2 black and 1. Awesome. Has a black energize. And at the beginning of the game, you put a mystery counter on her. Also at the beginning of the game, you put 2 mystery counters on her. So essentially you start with 3 mystery counters at the start of the game.
Yeah.
And her front side ability is tap, put a mystery counter on her. So you can either call a stone or get a mystery counter. Neat. When she judgments, for 3 mana, she becomes a 12/12 flyer. Pretty good stats. And when she comes into play on the backside, you get 3 mystery counters. And she also triggers her God's Art, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
The Eye of Ragnarok. When she's card enters the field, look at the opponent's hand, and you choose a card. Until the end of their next turn, they can't play that card.
So hopefully you're just stopping them from going big next turn, or, you know, making them force their hand to do what they need to do before combat or whatever.
Or you essentially stop them from stopping you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, Judgment, oh, you have a counter spell, you have 2 of the same counter spell, I don't want you to play them.
Yeah.
So essentially you're just like, don't play that card. And then she can also tap, remove a mystery counter from her, destroy target Resonator. So she just gives you a whole thing to do.
Now I know we've dogged on that, basically the gods are quite a bit, but now with we just realized the state of Force of Will is slower. So it seems like it actually might do some damage.
Yeah, it could do a lot of work. I've played it before and it's actually a lot better than it's first given credit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not game breaking or anything, but it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, don't do that.
Yeah. All right. The first member of the gang, of course, is Kintaro's partner. It's 1 darkness, 4/3. Card enters the field. Target J Resonator gains -2/-2 until end of turn. So they play a 1-drop. You play a 1-drop. Hopefully you can kill that 1-drop.
Yeah, your dude's pretty big.
Nice. And with Kintaro's partner comes Kintaro, of course.
Hey!
1 darkness, 1, 6/6. Precision. It's a fairy tale. When this card enters the field, put a 1/1 counter on it for each fairy tale and non-fairy tale beast you control, because Kintaro's partner is a fairy tale beast. They didn't want to make it too broken, but it still makes me sad that it can't be a 8/8 turn 2 or whatever.
I mean, it should be, but it's whatever.
Or a 9/9, actually.
Yeah.
But anyways, next one, of course, Dark Riding Hood. What was this little...
So Dark Riding Hood, she's pretty sweet. She's a 6/6 for 2, and you can remove a mystery counter from your J ruler, and you invert her. So she's one of the few cards that can auto invert that way, and essentially she just turns into an 8/8 with barrier red and barrier black.
Yep.
Which is pretty... It's kind of awkward in a way, because she goes from a darkness resonator to a wind resonator. But
Hey.
it's what it is. I mean, she's a 2-mana 8/8 with barrier red and black. I'll take it.
She solves a mystery, removing a counter, and then she realized, oh, maybe I should be a good person after this.
Yeah, you know. And then there is the best little black creature in New Frontiers right now.
Yeah.
In any kind of aggro deck, and that is Jeanne d'Arc, the Mad Maiden. So 2 mana for a 7/5. If you control 3 creatures or 3 resonators, when she's in play, she gets swiftness, and they now call it eternal.
Yeah.
But essentially she doesn't die, and she's got swiftness. And then when she deals damage in negative counters, so she can kill eternal creatures, because she just says your dude gets little, your dude gets smaller. Every hit that she deals her damage in negative.
Yeah, they'll be there, but they just cannot.
Yeah. They just can't do anything.
They just can't do anything.
Hey, it's 0. And she gets around prevent damage, because she doesn't actually do damage.
Yeah.
She does it in a different form.
It's a replacement effect for it.
Yeah.
So before it gets past that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the next one is Ray, the Black Owl. Darkness in 1, 5/7. It cannot be attacked, which is nice, because at your next main phase, beginning of the main phase, it inverts. So it becomes 0, 8/9, flying. Entities you control, whenever this card is targeted by a spell or ability, cancel that spell or ability. This ability only triggers once per turn. Like we always talk about, it's a little bubble that holds everything together and safe and tight. But of course, it affects you too, so you can't target your own dudes if you needed to.
Yeah, Ray is super, super strong.
Yes.
It's just, she's one of those cards that has to be answered if it's played, or else it's going to make it favor in whoever has the Ray flipped. Like, they're favored tremendously more if it gets to flip.
Oh yeah, especially if you go turn 1 energize Ray. And then like good luck getting a kill spell real quick.
Yeah, because then they have to answer it on turn 2 and you're just like, I really hope you don't.
Yep.
But if you get it, so be it. And the next little dude in the deck, he's super strong. He's actually the last Resonator in the main deck that we have is Disgraced Knight. He's one of the new dudes from the newest set, and he is totally amazing in this deck. So 3 darkness for an 8/7. And you can pay a darkness or remove 3 dark cards from your graveyard, and he comes back to the field under your control. And you can do this only during your turn.
Yep.
But you can do it as many times as he gets killed off, and as long as you can pay for it with 3 cards.
Yeah. And the fact that your spells are strong enough just to, start killing their dudes, you're going to have enough darkness cards in the graveyard to do it.
Yeah, and that's like the 2 keywords about him is when he comes back into play, he's untapped. Yep. So that's already awesome because he can block that turn.
Yeah.
And also, you can remove darkness cards. It just says cards. It's not Resonators. It's not a specific type. It's just any darkness card. The only thing it needs to be is a darkness thing. So spells, chants, all that fun stuff. And he's really good. He's really strong. He's really, really annoying to deal with.
Any recurring creature, usually in any TCG, is annoying. Like, if you can build it right around them, it's good.
And he's not little for it. He's an 8/7.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sized body to just be like, I'm back forever. Thanks.
And sometimes, because sometimes cards designed like that are like 8/1s or 8/2s. You're like, come on, really?
Yeah, they're like a 1/1 or a 2/2, and you're just like, it's not going to do much. But this dude's like, nah, I'm an 8/7. I'm going to kill you.
Yep. Speaking of chants and such, our first one, Sword of the New Moon. 1 darkness, quick cast. It's a mystery chant. Choose 1. Destroy target Resonator with total cost 1 or less. Or destroy target Resonator with total cost 4 or less if the card was awakened. And to awaken it, you remove a mystery counter from your J-Roller. And since you start out with 3, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty simple with that. Next up is Glint of Insight. It is also a chant mystery. And it is 1 darkness, you name a card, your opponent reveals their hand. If that name card is in it, they discard all copies of that card. So, you turn 1, you're like, Lorite. If they have 3 Lorites in their hand, you discard all of them.
Yeah.
And it also has a remnant cost. Remove 2 mystery counters from this card from your J-Ruler. This card in your graveyard gains remnant until the end of turn.
And of course, what is remnant?
So remnant, you can pay it again to play it again. So essentially, you pay 1 black turn 1, put it in your graveyard, name a card. Turn 2, you remove 2 mystery counters, you pay a black and do it again. I mean, you can do it on the same turn if you have Energize, but remnant just gives it flash. Like, you just get to play it from your graveyard again.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing it again, time reversal. 1 black chant, draw a card, put a mystery counter on your J-Roller. Simple as that. But it has awakening. Remove 3 mystery counters from your J-Roller at the next to the end turn. Recover all entities you control. All entities.
Yeah.
That's everything. Stones, dudes, additions, anything.
Yeah, it gets everything back. You're just like, hey. So it essentially allows you to alpha strike real hard, or like over just with all your dudes, and then they all get to block again.
Yeah, and all your stones come back, so you're like, you have enough to do kill spells and tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, with this, you have to have the 3 to awaken it as you cast it. You don't get a mystery counter and then you can use it for the awakening.
Yeah. Yeah. Next card is actually one of my favorites.
Yes.
I use it all the time. It's Faith in the Darkness. So 2 darkness, it's a chant. You look at the top 5, and you get to put a 2-drop dude into play from those 5. If that Resonator is a Jeanne d'Arc, she gets 2 1/1 counters, swiftness, and first strike, which is insane.
Yes.
So you're just like 2 mana, I have a 9/7 that's going to hit you.
Yep.
Thanks. And that creature gets to deal damage and negative counters, so you can't stop me. It's just...
And that's just turn 2.
Yeah, it's
that's
just
good.
silly. Or you do it turn 1 if they give you Energize, which is even dumber, because you're just like, hey, turn 1, take 9. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just good.
All right, and the next spell. Bloodspray. 2 darkness, chant mystery. Draw 2 cards, then deals 300 damage to yourself, which is insanely good, I think. And it has awakening cost, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
Remove a mystery counter from your J-Ruler. Destroy target Resonator with total cost 2 or less. So turn 2, you kill one of their dudes, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll take some damage to draw some cards and kill a dude in the same spell all day long.
Oh, yeah.
The final spell of the deck is Life-Stealing Blade, and it's one of the other newer fun cards, and it is 3 mana, but essentially if one of your dudes dies, you can pay it for 1 darkness.
Yeah. Oh, Life-Severing Blade.
Yeah, Life-Severing Blade. I'm sorry. But it is destroy target Resonator. That's essentially all it does. 3 mana, destroy target Resonator, and it's got quick cast, so if one of your dudes dies, kill your dude.
For 1 darkness.
Yeah, it's essentially it's like 1 for 1. You're just like, oh, you killed my dude, I'm gonna kill your dude.
Yep.
Thanks. The stones for the deck are actually very, very simple. We've got 4 of the stone from the Dark Castle, which is Reiya's mystery counter stone. It still counts as a darkness stone, and it produces a black, but it comes into play, you get a mystery counter on your J Ruler. Cool. Good. And then we have 6 darkness stones, because, I mean, you don't really need any of the other stones. They don't do enough for you.
Yeah. You could, but meh.
Yeah, I mean, the only one you could put in is like the discard stone, the new one that Loki has, or not Loki.
Lich.
No,
Lucifer.
No.
Lucifer, there we go. So many L's in there.
But you don't really need them. Mostly you just need the darkness stones. That's their main purpose.
Yeah.
But the honorable mentions, since you are a mono dark deck, you're going to need a way to deal with AU. And the only real way that darkness has to deal with AU is Ceaseless Devotion. And it is a black and 1 quick cast and as long as you target, so you target a Resonator, and as long as that Resonator stays in play, all damage dealt to you this turn is dealt to it instead. So essentially what you're wanting to do is target a Jeanne Dark.
Yeah.
So that way you just take whatever AU hits with. But if she goes off on turn 3 and she's like, take 40 or take 20,
yeah,
you target whatever. You're just like, cool, I'll lose my Ray now. Thanks.
It's okay, yeah. That's fine.
It's worth it because they just got rid of all of their combo.
Yeah. Or even Disgraced Knight, if you get there.
Yeah. And you're just like, hey, cool, that dies instead.
Yep.
Next up, we got Command to Life and Death, which the card is awesome in this deck. So it's 2 mana. Put target Resonator with total cost 3 or less from your graveyard into the field. Yeah. So all of your dudes you can recur again.
Simple as that for 2. That's good.
That's it. We got Grim of the Crimson Moon, and he is 3 mana for a 7/7 with barrier black and white. Mm-hmm. And when he comes into play, you reveal. I don't use this ability ever, but when he enters the field, reveal any number of Fairy Tale Resonators from your hand.
What you do?
Put a 1/1 counter on this card for each card revealed this way. This deck has a lot of Fairy Tales, so this can actually work for you. So he gets bigger, and then when he attacks, you put 2 mystery counters on your J Ruler. And when you do a Judgment of a Ruler, you may invert this card, and by removing 2 mystery counters from him. So when you invert him, he turns into Grim Hope from the Future, which is a 10/10 flying barrier. He's got barrier black and white. And when this card inverts, target non-magic stone entity loses imperishable, and it loses the cannot be destroyed clause, and then you destroy that entity.
Yep.
And cards in your opponent's graveyard lose all abilities. This is like, it's not the perfect out to Time Spinning Witch, but it helps.
It can get there.
Yeah, the reason it helps is because it stops Remnant and it stops Distortion of Time.
Yep.
The God's Art from the graveyard. That's really the only reason that it's there, and it's real good against black-white. Any kind of Amel deck, you're just like, hey, I got barrier your whole deck. Thanks.
Yeah. And your Amel loses imperishable.
Yeah.
So thanks and kill it.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. And the final card that the honorable mention we got is Dark Riding Hood. She's 3 darkness for a 7/8, and when this card gains, whenever this card deals damage to a Resonator, destroy that Resonator as long as your life is 2,000 or less.
Yep.
This card gains swiftness as long as you're 1,000 or less life. And when it comes into play, you remove 2 mystery counters. You can remove target Resonator from the game. And whenever this card attacks, it deals 200 damage to target player or Resonator. You gain 200 life.
So it's really good against aggro, for sure.
Yeah.
It just destroys the whole board in one cast and swing.
Yeah, so with this, assuming you're under 10 life, or 1,000 life, you play her, you remove 2 counters and remove a dude, you swing with her, you shoot another dude for 2, and you swing at the 3rd dude.
Yeah, just...
So you get to remove 3 dudes at the cost of 3 mana. Because she swings at 1, because she has essentially, like, Death Touch, you want to call it, when she hits a creature. It's called Bane.
Yeah, it's Bane
Yeah,
now.
they made it Bane. So when she deals the 200 damage, she kills that thing. She swings at the other thing, kills that thing, and then removes the other creature.
Yeah.
So you just get to remove 3 dudes on 1 turn. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But yeah, those are the honorable mentions. The deck is super fun. It does a lot of weird things with mystery counters, and it's actually a lot more resilient than you would think.
Oh, yeah. And apparently, seeing Grim as well as he removes mystery counters, just something about learning about yourself. And the mystery is inside your soul.
The mysteries
makes you
are
good.
there. Alright guys, thank you for joining us here today at Geektopia Island. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and y'all have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Also guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to keep up to date on all of our future content, make sure you tap that bell.
And go ahead and check us out on our streams. Don't forget to support us on Patreon. And thank you for staying here on the island.
Later guys.
Bye.